You are on mute.
Sorry. I guess
Yeah,
we started now.
sure. Perfect. Thanks a lot. So jumping off to uncertainty is like something like this, which I figured out, right? We're talking to many people. Although, we stand still somewhere in the middle of the world as a corporate or a global citizen, but things around us don't stop. They keep on evolving, they keep on changing. So we are kind of, figure ourselves somewhere like this, that although we are, standing still, but things around us don't stand still. These external changes, these external behaviors, these external disturbances, as we speak, they keep bugging us here and there, here and there. The size and proportion of this disruption or distraction can be different. This is very typical if you understand and see and go back little in history. Let's suppose 1900 century, the entire 19th century, starting from 1900 to 2000. So we might have faced more than 3 dozen crises together worldwide, which are very large in size, which have impacted many countries, many lakhs of citizens in different ways and different dimensions. But we have all overcome that. This present uncertainty, is of a different dimension, because it is not like a war which is happening at the borders. It is not like a fight which is happening across the sea or across the uh, clouds. It is happening across our doors and windows. It has come inside, so to each and every household. So that is a different type of uncertainty, to every office, to every place, wherever we are across the world. And nobody has a right answer or a reply to it. So we all are at the same and similar stage of uncertainty. But there are certain things which we I like to quote here to start with. The crises are always a part of us, because if they would not be there, we would not be able to face them and understand and analyze them. And it does not make any difference what the crisis is all about. So there's a beautiful saying that crises are part of life. Everybody has to face them, and it doesn't make any difference what the crisis is all about, because time and again we as a human race are facing off a lot of uncertainties, challenges in our life, and we'll keep on doing, I mean, in future also, of different size and dimension, as we grow so fast ahead of the curve. Again, this is a very beautiful saying, losing your head in crisis is a good way to become the crisis itself. So sometimes some uncertainty happens, you have to be very cool and calm. You have to analyze, you have to think what is happening, the length and breadth of that. That is very important. As I was mentioning, we have envisaged a lot of typical crises in the past. I have just put down 5, 6 of them where India was linked, and where we impacted much more as in India. Obviously, World War II, the world impacted because of all the miseries and the wars that we have to face. 91 was a changing landscapes for the India, because we were changing entirety in the economic space. The entire India got opened up in 91 as Indian economic crisis happened, and then we started our growth stage reform. 97, there was a lot of downfall with respect to the currencies across Asia, which again impacted India a lot, and forced us to think differently. And again, we choose a different way to react to it therefrom. I think most of us have visited and envisaged about 2000.com bubble, and we all have been through the the date change scenarios and all those challenges that were being cropped up by the techies. What will happen after 2000 when all the dates will change and blah blah blah. But again, we have overcome that. But not far off. Again, 2003, we were blessed with again a kind of a virus pandemic, which is SARS, but quite similar to what we are facing today. But some of the criticalities are different. Its spread was not as pandemic as today, coronavirus. But the world faced it, we faced it, and we moved on. We contained it. Then comes the subprime crisis in 2008-9. when the US default happened across the real estate sector. And these are some of the highlights. So we have all overcome it, the difficulties, the challenges, the uncertainty, and this time shall too pass. I mean, it all depends upon the timeline. Nobody is there to envisage the timeline. I've been getting a lot many reports and reading it. Some big investment bankers, some big investment scientists and professors are evangelizing the recovery curve would be a U curve. Some says L curve, other says V curve. So all those things are extrapolations of the projections, how it will recover, how it will happen. But still we are at the uncertain times. Still the infection is going on. Still we can't move out of our houses to offices to return to normalcy. And there is no date between us to tell us, when we'll return normal and how it will happen. Again, a lot of guesstimates are being done here and there to overcome the crisis. But the good part is, whenever the crisis, the situation comes, they give us one advantage. They force us to think differently. And this is said by none other than Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru. Beautiful saying. And that is what, every time we overcome a challenge, we learn a lot of things. We gain a lot of things because we are forced to think differently. And that is the best part. Also, the power we discover inside ourselves, as we survive, that's an experience and can be utilized over and beyond from what we have learned in the past. I've just jot down, thematics of uncertainty here. Like, as a human being, what all kind of uncertainties we have faced in the past and we may get to face in the future. Obviously, battle or war is the uncertainty will be there today and tomorrow. There could be some critical regulatory changes pertaining to a vertical or a sector or globally, so that your business vertical entirety becomes challenging. There's a critical change in the raw material rates or the output of product side rates. It will again challenge you. That is the core business challenge, where you have to think about the sustenance of your business. There could be certain type of legal actions against the sector or the company yourself. That might be personal, but again that will threat you to closure of your business. It may happen because the way the laws are changing, they are becoming more and more stringent, and we have faced and seen lot many actions in the past. The Solvency and Bankruptcy Code, which is being run in 2016 onwards, it is forcing lot many companies to close down if they are not able to honor their business acumen and sense in the market. And there are many other anecdotes in the past. There could be a lot of economic crisis globally, locally, which may influence you, which may deter you from conducting a normal business, and that could also pose a threat to your business. And there might be another scenario like what we are facing today. It's neither economic nor political, not only biological, but not a battle or war in a way. So the more we graduate from a level to a B level, the more different kind of proposition might have to face off. So I thought to put across all these things, not for what we faced, but what we may face in the future. That is important. What kind of challenges that we might face in times to come. We don't know what is the time. It's 2023, 25, 30, whatever it is. But these are very critical. As a human race, you need to understand to be ready yourself. Mind, from the mindset. It plays a very critical role, friends, mind. And my favorite saying, as I keep on saying between my friends and the clients, is tough times never last, but tough people do. So the premise behind my all thought process is people. People have to change, and then the business will automatically transform from there on.
Also, I request अगर किसी के भी पास कोई questions हैं तो please type in the chat box so we can take them up. या फिर you can raise your hand so I can unmute you and you can ask questions after Gagan is done.
Yeah. Now moving on to the main section. So when I say personal, which means a founder has to be geared up to the external forces, to the random events that may happen across his, business, across his stakeholders, because business is not alone. It is being conducted via stakeholders. Now, stakeholders could be your vital clients, your vital suppliers, your vital other stakeholders around it, some service providers, some product providers, your critical staff, your employees who make that happen. Turning around of raw material into the entire product. So those are also critical. So any change, any uncertainty, any event which is unshattering these 3-4 stakeholders will not be easy for business to carry on. So that is important. So as a founder, every time you have to take the stock of the situation. What is happening? What is the length and breadth of this situation? And you have to evolve it. Like whatever you have analyzed in, for example, on 20th of March would be different. And what you would be doing it today on 20th of April would be different, because the information data set, the surrounding situations might have changed, have traveled from here to here. So we have to keep on evaluating week on week or time to time basis, and react accordingly and make your charts and pointers accordingly. And adapt towards it slowly and steadily. So what I've done is I've broken down into the two situations, two kind of uncertainties that we need to dealt with. One, uncertainty on how to get yourself ready. If you are ready, then only you will be making the right kind of decisions which are strategic to the scaling of your company. So first I will talk about the founder, what things that you have to do, key things. And then we will shift our focus to the company perspective, including all the stakeholders. Now, going from here on, I'll touch upon the founder side. Get yourself ready first. Face the reality. When I say face the reality, means gauge it, judge it, dissect it. How much you can dissect. What challenge you are facing? What kind of uncertainty is there? Is it global? Is it local? Is it sector specific? Is it affecting you only? How it is? What is the dimensions of it? Because without analyzing the dimension of the challenge, you will not be able to understand the loss or the readiness that you have to adopt to overcome it. Then determine along where you are with capabilities that your core team owns. And what are they? Knowledge. Nothing can replace knowledge. And your experience. Now, your experience could be of two types. One, how you perceive after looking at the challenge, and you might have faced some kind of challenges in the past, and you can relate to the responses. For example, you might have faced as a person SARS pandemic, 2008 crisis, 2000 pandemic, other things. So you might have seen, how people have taken the course of action across it. Talk to your resource people, talk to your networks, how you are dealing with it across the community, across the close net people. Talk to your mentors if you have, what I have to do, what are the steps that I have to take up. Is this thing which I'm thinking about it, is it okay? Does it need further deliberation or what? Other strategic relationships that you carry, it may be some kind of, close net clients, close net vendors, close net peoples across industry, some forums, some, platforms. So gather as much information, data, connect as you can, which is very important to assess and analyze situation and get yourself a little bit ready. Like sitting today, that, okay, Q1 of FY 2021 is gone. Kind of, which we can see together that because of the information and conditions of our nation or globally, we feel that we will not be able to do this. But then how will we be able to do what we want to do in next 3 quarters to come? All those things have to be a little bit put down in perspective for yourself. What you have, what kind of team you have, what all people that you can bend upon, who are the guys you can, think of best with you, around you, that will help you together as a team to steer against this tide. This is very important. If you are able to do this, more than 30% is done, because mentally you are ready. Once mentally you are ready and focused, then you can steer around the company and the stakeholders comfortably. With this, I'll start the key pointers for which we are here today, which revolves around the strategic decision pointers, which we have broken down into 6 legs. So these 6 critical legs are the result of our survey that we have done in March with various founders, startups, and investors who have been investing in the companies, because for them, these portfolio companies are ailing, are challenging times for them. So how to support them, how to nurture them, how to guide them. So it's a combination of all these inputs that we got and our understanding of the business. We broken down the entirety into 6 verticals. And yes, before we proceed, we always call, desperate times call for desperate measures. And that is what we're going to discuss together to face business hurdles. We face it daily though, as a founder, as an entrepreneur, as a, business owner. But then sometimes things are too large in size and shape that we have to come together and fight that with key focus area in mind. So here we are. These 6 key focus areas, as we have devised, we'll go each one of them individually, talking to them in detail, and then understanding how we can plan ourselves better. So first is managing our cash flows. Second is business modulation. Third is tracking the critical timelines that we all have to face. Fourth is team spirits, how to nurture them, how to keep them motivated. Then building inner skill sets, what is required or what may be required in times to come. And the critical part, adapting to customer needs. See, in today's challenging situation, you have challenge from both the sides, demand side and supply side, which means client side and vendor side, because the entire ecosystem is having the similar challenges that you are facing. So you're not alone. Entire competitor of your company is facing the same challenge. The entire industry, the entire country is facing the same challenge, how small or big they are. So one has to focus on these 5-6 critical items to steer ahead under these uncertain times. So I'm starting with managing cash flows now. There's a good saying which says that what would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? That's important. So that is last resort. Now, cash flows become important. Why in today's time? Because the entire vertical, entire value chain is in scoop. So for example, you are expecting certain payments from client, it's stuck. You have to honor certain liabilities to your vendors, it's stuck. You are liable to pay payments to your stakeholders, to employees, to government, to other vendors, that is stuck. What to do? Every year you prepare a budget, that what I have to do, what I have to expand, where I have to invest, to keep going my business slowly and steadily to next level. Please put all the brakes on all those extra budgeting spend today. I'm talking about immediate basis as we face the challenge today. So any budgeted spend, extra spend that you are already lined up, however small or big it is, stop it, put it aside. Curtail down any new vertical addition, any new business addition, any new team addition, any new product addition aside. Because today's challenge is to maintain current levels of business. If you are able to do so, you are the winner. You are a step ahead than others, because that's the challenge to run, because we don't know the uncertainties for 1 month or 3 months or 4 months. So we need to keep running into those critical measures at a very, very focusedly. Try to assess the cost measures internally. Where are the scope of reducing the cost points? Wherever it is. You talk to your landlords for your deferment of lease payments. You talk to your vendors for not being able to take their entire bouquet of services, but selective services. You can talk to your clients that you can already give them critical parts, but not the entire parts. Whatever it is possible, for which you are able to minimize your cost structure internally. Number one, and optimize your resources. Which person is multitasker, which person is good in what aspect. Try to multitask as much as you can, because if you're not able to multitask, you'll not able to optimize things. And it starts from founder. As a founder, if you are the BD head, if you are the marketing head, you have to understand and have the liability towards the entire marketing team. That do I need the entire marketing team today? Can I curtail down their per day exposure to the business? How can I manage them along with them? All those things. I'm not saying to lay off them, but then there is the understanding between the resources, because these are uncertain times for everybody in the ecosystem. It's not like that you are different from the competitor or competitors different from the entire biggie leaders in the company, in the vertical. These are the some critical measures that you need to take from day one. If you've not done so, please start acting today. It's very important. Cash saved is cash earned in today's language. That is how you'll be able to sustain from whatever time period that we may come into the next slides, which is very important. Whatever business you are in, whatever business structure you are in, whatever business model you are running, try to see and go inside each vertical, that which vertical is critical to your business. If you are having 10 business verticals, try to see which is more critical, top 3, top 5. Talking to your clients, understand what will fetch you quick money, what will fetch you quick turnaround, with minimum input, with minimum outside stakeholder requirement. I'll give an example. Although that's an institution itself, you might have read there is a news in for Amul Dairy. So Amul, what they've done is they have retained critical employees within their premises, and they're following all social distancing norms and COVID guidelines as issued by the government of India. But they are making sure that they are able to, make that critical feed for the human race. And same goes with maybe mother dairy of the worlds, or whatever minimum output that we are getting today for our consumption, for our daily needs. So they are not stopped. They have curtailed down their business. They might not be doing the value adds things like paneer, like makhan, and all those things. But what they're focusing on about 2-3 segments. One is milk, second is curd, and third maybe whatever they feel like, the maximum sales output that they had. So that is how you have to curtail down. You have to change your business modulation. Try to extract. Those are tough times, not for you but for the client also. So there will be a lot of challenges in payment cycles, payment terms that has to be recast with your clients in these difficult times. So try to extract all those things, talking to them comfortably, so that return on investment has to be there, because you are not running full level, you are running at a critical level. So your cost is different, your pricing can be different. It all depends upon how you structure internally with respect to your client. Whatever verticals that you run, try to structure it very critically around their standard operating procedures. Try to talk to your team which is taking care of those critical verticals, and make a proper automation, so that there is minimum requirement of human under these tough times and circumstances. And you follow all those rules of social distancing and all those things across the business. So without following these things and doing these things, it is very difficult for you to understand how I would be doing and handling the businesses in times to come.
तो अगर इस
Now,
पॉइंट पे एक क्वेश्चन आया हुआ चैट बॉक्स में. क्वेश्चन इज
in my presentation mode, I'm not able to see the chat box, Rishabh.
अच्छा, the question is going to automation will lead to more unemployment.
Yep.
So I think
I'll come to this part. I know this would come. I'll come to this part later.
all right.
Yeah. So by automation, I am not necessarily meaning to reduce the staff from your roles. I meant to say is whatever you can see, because in today's time, for example, to do a job, to do a vertical, you require 100 people, right? From end to end. But in today's time, those 100 people may be residing in different spots. For example, if 20% or 30% of the team are residing in your hotspots, they can't move out. What you will do? You will not produce those things. You have to produce those things. My automation meaning was till the time we are facing this critical timelines, you as founders have to take those decisions that you want to run your business. You want to run those critical verticals today. So you have to put in piece of automation or require certain things to change for minimum human intervention so that you can deliver those things to the client. For example, a lot of e-commerce companies, a lot of last mile delivery companies like Grofers, like 1MG, PharmEasy, these companies are trying to deliver critical things, essential items to us, all of us as their clients. So they're also trying to do some kind of automation, some kind of reduced human interventions in their business models so that they could reach out those critical things to us as their clients. We have been ordering medicines, we have been ordering foods and staples around it, and these are the companies which are making it happen. So my point is only that coming to pillar 3, this is very important. For how long my critical business will run, or for how long I have to project my critical period. So why we are calling it critical period? Why? Because you can call it critical period 1, critical period 2, critical period 3. Why I'm saying is, let's suppose, hypothetically, we will overcome this corona pandemic in 3 months, 1 quarter, starting April till June, under complete lockdown. So whatever strategies that you need to follow, whatever ultimate measures that you have to follow for these 3 months would be different than the balancing 3 months which you would be trying to reopen your business in full throttle or maybe more capacity. For example, if you're running at 20% capacity today or at 10% capacity, you should plan it 30%, 40%, 50% for next quarter, and then plan 80%, 70%, 60% capacity for the next quarter. And hence you will try to understand the entire business plan for financial year 2021, which is very important. Quarterly analysis, breaking down the entire 1 year period to sub periods, because when a company closes down, when the industry closes down, it requires a lot of things to run it, to reopen it, and to come to a normalcy. So whatever strategies that you may require in 6 to 9 months would be entirely different than what you are doing today. Today you might be doing a firefighting, but you might not be doing firefighting in 6 to 9 months. Your strategies would be different. So try to break down critical periods. Now, I'm not saying 3 months per se, but depending upon how we steer the corona pandemic. If it is going beyond 3 months, make it 4 months and then go on. So these things will change, subject to change in the circumstances and its intricacy. That is important. But break down into separate verticals, into separate compartments, and try to assess and give the best into those sub periods and compartments. What business strategies that you might have today, tomorrow, and then day after, all will require 3 subsets of different business modulations. I'll tell you, by you will be having a lot more clarity in your mind along with your team, because then you can tell your critical team members also, boss, this is what I see, this is how I see business going on from today, tomorrow, day after. You might be having different insights, your client, your team, your vendors might be having different insight. So when you talk to them after doing all these things, you will carry different perspectives in your mind. This is very important because team is your critical stakeholder. Talk to them. If not daily, alternate day. It's must. Why? Everybody is sitting doing work from home. So they are alienated. They are not meeting daily. They are not getting their daily energies. They are not feeling like in office. They have their own internal homely challenges, right? So they need lot of adrenalines, lot of push to understand and feel that we are together as a team, and all those things you need to give. So that is why the entire spirit of the discussion here is, first you have to get ready. Once you are ready, then you have to get ready your key team, because then only you'll be able to give best things to your client. So talk to them, different type of teams, post confidence in them. This is happening, we are doing this is our business plan, this is that, these are the 3-step points that we are doing, and try to allocate work accordingly. I mean, what kind of teams that you have. Some might have higher work timings. Some might not be having entirely work things in today's time. But how to do collaboration between teams, choose right of automation tools between the teams that they can talk to them each other, make subgroups of team, talk to these subgroup heads very frequently, to maintain that connection, daily connection, what's happening, what's not happening. Even if you're not doing much of a business, still keep them motivated. It's more of a uh, personal and human connection, which gives you a lot of drive, because the challenge we are facing is tough only. Very important point. Coming to building inner skill sets, a lot of people have been advocating, and we are seeing a lot of gush of freewares or free courses across the world. A lot of book platforms, audible book platforms, online universities including Harvard and Stanford of the worlds are offering free courses, select free courses. Please, it's not about certification. Try to enlarge your canvas of thinking, try to enlarge your understanding capabilities, how things are working elsewhere in the world, what are the best practices. Indulge self inside you and see what is my SWOT: strength, weakness, opportunities, threats. Where am I weak as a person, as a professional? Try to hone the skills that I need today, right? I might be weak in Excel, I might be weak in presentation, I might be weak in public speaking, I might be weak in some critical technical areas. Try to focus. Not only the founders, co-founders, management team, but the entire team, the entire, the stakeholders, whatever you can do inside the team. So talk to them, tell them, coming back to the enhancing team spirits, tell the team that, what all you need to be done. Please indulge into something which will make you a different person tomorrow when you come out of this difficult situation. So we all have got ample time. We need to do things together as a team. Help them in taking these special courses, special studies, some part of their day, allocation of their day, which is tough otherwise. Coming to one of the most critical things that one has to do under these critical uncertain times is customer. I always emphasize this word: over communicate with your customers. I have put that in commas, over. Why? Understand his changing requirements. He is your customer. Yesterday also, today also, and tomorrow also. But he is also facing similar challenges as you are facing, but in different form and shape. Try to understand what all the areas where you can help him differently. reach them out differently. I'll give you an example. We all are having bank accounts, right? Now, some of the private banks where our company is holding bank accounts, they are forwarding us e-newspaper on our mail. They are offering us special arrangements for our staff salary transfer. They are not asking any documents today. They are saying whenever you recover from this pandemic, we will take the documents from you. But they are doing some critical assessments, authorization from the critical people. That's all. This is what change behavior is. I'm just talking because bank is intervening with hundreds and millions of people daily. So they have to change, reach out, right? And similarly, the other business models also. What is your need? What is that you require? So they are trying to bring those things to you. That is what business difference is all about. So the more you communicate with your client, don't stop the channel. Your old client, your new client, your prospect client, talk to them. You never know. Understanding, changing times, you have to change your strategy. I'll give you a brilliant example of my point number one. Changing times need changing strategy. Worldwide, people are making ventilators. An auto is making ventilator. A distributor is making ventilator. A non-industrial guy is making ventilator, sanitizer, mask, hand gloves, PPEs of the world. I don't know what not. A friend of mine is a railway contractor, a big railway guy. He's making the PPEs for the world. Why? Because they have realized that one, they have the capability in-house, they have the right team, or they have structured the A team, and then they have moderated the business. They know that their business, what they're running, would be having different course of action under the today's subset of issues. They have changed the strategy. They are now making healthcare products. I'm not saying you also start making healthcare products, but try to understand the change in behavior of people, the change in behavior of client, whatever alternative strategies that you may adopt, right? Do so. This is a live example. Reaching out differently, different types, different focus points, different strategies, different hierarchies. Try to understand them. What all new business areas that you can add. See, as we speak, a lot of rise has been there in online education. A lot of rise has been there in entertainment, in gaming section, in wellness segment, online things. So I don't know, what background you guys are as a business owners, what you can modulate. But what I'm saying and suggesting is think that what all you can do as a team. If you can do X business, why can't you help your clients in Y business today? Because your business might be not seeing the good times in next 5, 6, 8, 10 months. But if you add this vertical, which is giving you today an opportunity, you might have a parallel set of business in times to come. So think over it, friends. It's an opportunity. Every challenge comes with an opportunity. So it is us who needs to find this opportunity, frame this opportunity for us, and move forward. And globally, it is happening. Spain has ordered ventilators from China. It got the defunct ones. UK has ordered from China. They have had the challenge of the pipes issue. They're not aligned. So whatever the supply is coming. So every country is forced to think about making in their own country to the extent possible of those critical materials, of those critical manufacturing facilities that they have. They're not worried by cost today. They're worried for being availability. They're worried for being dependent on anybody else for the criticality of things that should be within their own country or within their own factory. That is important. Try to change the strategy. Try to take the advantage of all those things given yourself. And because you are running at a very low verticals, very low cost, if it is possible and feasible for your business to pass on that excess margins to your clients, because they are also in times of need for those critical period, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever you feel like, do so. It will help them to sustain. If they will live by, you will live by. So it is the chain effect. 1, 2, 3. It will help you. So as you know, the saying goes, the only place where you dream becomes impossible is within your own thinking. So think through. We all are empowered people. We all are, you know, different creeds that we can do all these things together. So please focus, friends, on these critical things. I don't think you would need much more things beyond this. If you do this within your group, within your business, within your value chain, you will be, you know, doing things differently for yourself, for your team, and for your client. So these are the three critical pointers. I'm again going on to the 6 points: managing cash flows, business model, track critical period, make your business plan in those critical periods, enhance team spirits, build their skill sets, your and the entire team's skill sets, what is required to do so, and adapt to customer needs. Your present customers, your, you know, coming customers, future customers, or prospect customers. These six are the critical points that we need to focus upon and be prepared to. And once you do all these six things, you'll feel that you're, you know, much more confident. You're much more you know, resilient to the change around you. You are kind of geared up to, you know, fight against the uncertainty. That is what is required, nothing else. Now I open for the questions, one on one. Rishabh.
Yes. So I think there are a couple of questions in the chat box right now. So let's address.
Wait, I just but I could not find the chat box still.
Acha. So one is what would be the ways to tackle this situation for businesses who are into advertisement and marketing? Many clients are stopping the cash flow for ads.
uh, the business, they are into advertising and marketing, right?
Yeah, advertising and marketing.
See, as I said, your last point, your core business might be in trouble, but try to see, you know, what first try to break down into critical period, that the ads would be closed for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and they will start coming up in next quarter, you know, slowly and steadily. You make that business plan, and as per that business plan, after talking to your client, because those guys are also facing the same challenge, those guys are also facing the same challenge. So how your client is, you know, seeing the forecast period, and hence try to make the business model for yourself and see whether you are able to sustain that or not. These are troubled times. So within this Q1, are you able to sustain with Q2 and Q3 or not? Number one. Number two, try to see what alternative capabilities your team can bring on today. Some kind of different business models that you might do, you know, get through all those situations, and what all separate business verticals that you can start with these 3 to 6 months. I know it is easy said than done, but then at least start thinking towards it. You may or may not get the answer today, but start thinking towards it. For every business, there can't be a same answer, but thinking will lead you to that position. Yeah, Rishabh, next.
All right. The next question is how to keep cash flow when entire SCM is hit badly due to current crisis. Now, biggest uncertainty is to get the money from current customers.
See, as I said and keep saying, you are part of the value chain. You are being stressed by your suppliers to pay the money, as you are being stuck with your clients. So by talking to the clients, so for example, there were payments due from the clients on 27th of March to me, but on 28th March I got a mail that because their customer is not paying them money, the money is stuck. Then what should I do? I asked them again, what is the next tentative best dates that they can give us for payment? So try to talk to your client very closely, because a lot of your problems, challenges would be overcome by them. And hence it goes with the value chain. See, you are not doing anything wrong, or you're not, you know, miscommunicating, or your intention is wrong. The entire value chain is stuck. If you see and talk to your client, you'll get a lot of information. And you have to pass on that critical information to your suppliers as well. For example, from certain clients you got the payment, you might try to do some part of the payment for those critical vendors if possible, to keep their home running also. So don't hold the payment, try to divide the payment. For example, you receive 100 rupees from one client and you've got 10 vendors for those one client. Try to give some payments. You were giving 10 rupees earlier, try to give 8 rupees, 7 rupees, but don't stop the payment. If you stop the payment and sit over it, the entire value chain will destroy. If you can do this, your client can do this to you. Just understand. So don't stop the payments anywhere in the channel. If you are getting the payment, if your client is getting the payment, try to flow that income flow. You may curtail down the amount, but please maintain this flow. This is very important in today's tough times. Yeah.
All right. Another question. Uh, merely communicating to my supplier is not going to understand, as my customer is only asking us to wait for 2-3 weeks. This is not going to help, I feel.
See, again, your supplier has to understand your situation also, and you have to understand your client situation also. You have to communicate between both the things, because you are part of the value chain. You are not doing anything wrong. I'm just saying it, because you are being stuck from your client and your client is stuck from his client. Again, the same point. You have to communicate. Whatever confidence, you get a mail from your client and paste that mail in WhatsApp and share within group. Boss, this is the situation. You know, getting trust maintained is very important in today's time. If I'm not paying you, I have to give that reason, that logic, that boss, my client is not paying. Here is that mail. This is saying I will reconsider your request 3rd week of April, 4th week of April. For example, three payments were due from one client, from our client. I'm telling you personally. He cleared 2 payments and stuck with the 3rd one. He said, when the lockdown opens, I will clear the 3rd one. Our team reached out to him on 14th. That boss, lockdown is getting extended to 3rd May. So would you be able to clear us, the coming week, or you're extending to post 3rd May? So reply came, it is extending to 3rd week. We are in trouble, we understand. But once he replied, we kept it ourselves. And if our supply chain will affect, we will tell them, boss, this is the situation. You can't do much about it. Maintain the trust, maintain that faith between the value chain. That is what you can do.
Got it. Anyone else has any questions? You can unmute yourself and ask directly also. Mr. Srijan has responded, Gagan.
Yeah.
But to run any industry, we need to pay salaries, wages, statutory requirements, etc. That is where one is likely to get stuck.
See, many countries are doing a lot of things, but they are not blessed with the kind of demographic diaspora that we Indians are into. 130 billion. So a lot of countries are reimbursing salaries to the extent of 50%, 60%, 70%, 80% for these 3 months, 1 quarter. Indian government is helping corporates in different ways, in reimbursing their employee and employer EPF. They are trying to defer the certain tax liabilities. They are trying to defer certain payment options for 1 quarter. This is one side. Now coming to the hardcore, you can divide your employees into categories. One, which is critical employees in today's situation, which are required to run your operations minimum, right? That is separate. Then those support employees, which are required still not full time, but intermittently to run your business. Then third type, which you may not require for this close down period, right? I'm just telling it into sub 3 parts. You have to break down your problems into parts. You may end up giving the critical employees who are doing the work in this critical hour also, 100% salaries, 90% salaries, 80% salaries. You might end up giving the intermittent staff, which is helping you not full time, but 2, 3, 4 hours a day of 50% salaries. Then you can give some salaries to the staff which is on the bench. 25% salaries. This is the point, and things that you can do. That is important. There's no other way out. You have to deal with it strategically, point to point, and breaking down your challenges into different components and deal with it. There is no one right answer or wrong answer. Yeah.
There's another question. If by Shreyans, if the bottom line is not moving, our cash flows will get affected. We are selling premium products. The customer will switch to economical range. We have made tremendous investment in premium products.
See, as I said in my last case, adjusting to customer needs. I understand you are making a 100 rupees product MRP with a cost of, let's suppose, 25 rupees all in cost. That's a premium product with high margin. But again, my suggestion to you is try to pass on discounts for this uncertain period to your customer. Do not let your customer go elsewhere. His alternative could be versus 100 rupees, he might be going to 70 rupees. I'm just taking that number. Try to come down to 75, not to 70 or 65. The customer will still get the better price, the better quality, with a markup price. A competitor who is a mass seller is giving you at 70 rupees, right? You were giving it 100 rupees, but come down to 80 rupees or 75 rupees. I'm just saying it to give still the same highest quality, but at lower cost for these uncertain times. Now, this year price will not be the price that eventually you will sell to them. These are uncertain times and uncertain special pricing that you can quote, boldly whenever you do this. For this quarter, for special offer, something, positive, some message. Without doing any sale, your company can't move. Understand? You need to do sale in tough times also. I am discussing here the alternative business strategies. You can't fail on your own product, which I have to sell to my customer. So please reduce your margins, reduce to minimum, because your company is not running full throttle. Your cost has also come down in various means and ways. Some are deferred, some are cut down. Try to pass on those benefits to your customer, but don't try to lose your customer in today's time. That's what my suggestion is. Talk to them. If you want to talk to 100 people, talk to 100 people, but please talk. Without talking, the problem will not go away. You will get a new solution. They might be ready to pay in EMIs. I'm just suggesting. If I am the customer, you are offering me 100 rupees, and now you're giving me at 80 rupees or 85 rupees, and you give me easy terms to pay up. I'll pay up in 3 months, 40, 40, 40, whatever, 30, 30, 40, right? Try to understand, try to defer things, try to maintain those, options of modulation. Again, coming back to business modulation. You have to modulate your business depending upon the customer needs. Without talking, you can't do this. So now you are getting the actual scenario analysis and going back to the drawing board, understanding these 6 pointers, print the 6 pointers, keep in front of you. And whenever you talk to customer, just, go through the 6 pointers and think whatever you could do from this, from this, from this. But first, prepare your business plan for this critical period to make yourself clear what cost I'm bearing for the 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Very important for you to take any decision under this uncertainty period. Yeah.
Gagan, there's another question by PC Jain uncle. The question is, after lockdown opens, might be in 6 to 12 months time, situation from business perspective might be normal as before lockdown, but the attitude of non-payment and commitment honor will remain a problem for running smooth business or profession. What is your view? How to deal with such commitment failure?
Say 2 things. If you emerge from the problem, let's suppose, I'm just hypothetically saying that the lockdown will be over in 3 months. The emerging cases of corona start reducing. after the end of 3 months, right? So let's presume that after fourth month, you'll start opening your offices. So from fourth month to next 3 or 4 months, things will not be normal because you're gearing up to be normal. You will not be deploying your 100% staff, neither you nor your client. You will only be coming normal into next third month, So first 4 plus 1 quarter, which makes 7 months. After that quarter will be normal month. When your production will be at normal level, when your sales will be at normal level. My point is the challenging time, point 1, where you're in lockdown, point 2, where the lockdown opens, and point 3, where kind of you are gearing up towards normalcy. The entire world is open. You have to react differently. See, you can't help on the personal, how one looks at business. But while talking to any person, so nobody can block the value chain. Understand this point. If one is doing, there's a community of people attached to it. If the other is doing, there's another chain of people attached to it. One has to be, free from those things. So talk to them as much as possible. Make them understand the entire value chain is affected. Nobody can, just keep the payments with them and not give you. What if you are doing the same and not giving your suppliers? The situation will remain the same with you also and with your client also. It is very important for both the parties to understand, sit together, maybe together, maybe in chamber of commerce, maybe in, a platform where there is a body hearing both the parties face to face. But these representations have to be made. When government is doing so much in taking off some of the loads here and there from us in complying, in regulations, in payments, we as business owners have to take that responsibility and onus to help those things steer together. So this will not solve without discussions. Again, my point remains the same. Maybe together, maybe individually, maybe in a business forum, 10 people talking to the same client, because same client is taking things from you 10 guys. You 10 guys join and go together and represent, right? Something like that.
All right. Is there any other question? Mr. Rohan has written a question, but it's not very clear. What can be suggestion for a new established business who is still, who is still fighting?
See, I see things differently. This is the best time to start any new business. Why? किसी ने सोचा ही नहीं होगा. सिंपल पॉइंट है. मैं भी घर बैठा हूं, मेरा कॉम्पिटिटर भी घर बैठा है, मेरी इंडस्ट्री भी घर बैठी है. Nobody is running. So best time to start is today. जो आज स्टार्ट करेगा, so this is a zero base, right? This is a zero base. Everybody who was there has to come down here. सबकी सेल्स जीरो हो जाएंगे ऑलमोस्ट, नेग्लिजिबल. जब क्रूड ही नेगेटिव हो गया है, लोग मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं, तो बाकी क्या बचा? So these are unprecedented times, are calling from unprecedented reactions also. जो आपने पहले रिएक्शन नहीं किया, वो अब टाइम है रिएक्ट करने का. You have to think through, innovate a business model in a way that get ready yourself, boss. Don't wait कि आज सेल नहीं हो रही है, मैं क्या क्या कर सकता हूँ in this period with my team, with my future customer. आप सर्वे रन कर सकते हो, आप उनसे बात कर सकते हो, आप कुछ और अलाइन कर सकते हो. सब घर में बैठे हैं, सब फ्री हैं. Talk to as many people as you can. Build as many networks as you can. जो आपको वैसे टाइम नहीं मिलेगा, ना आपके कस्टमर को, ना आपके एम्प्लॉइज को, ना आपके वेंडर्स को. So make whatever is possible. Build your own Titanic within this period. These are the best times. As a startup, as a new business owner, you have to do a lot of research, R&D, inputs, insight, market research. Do it today, boss. Make 1000% sure कि ये आपका बिजनेस है, ये प्रोडक्ट है, ये प्राइसिंग है, ये क्वांटिटी है, ऐसे बिकेगा, वैसे होगा, वहां जाएगा, ऐसे जाएगा. And many other things that you want to do with the business, but make it today. You are the right time. This is no difficulty. We keep on writing a lot of articles, suggestions, and inputs and insights from various stakeholders, and we keep sharing, and we try to keep share on my LinkedIn, personal LinkedIn. So किसी को भी कुछ चाहिए, कुछ देखना है, कुछ करना है. So we have put up one more post on opportunities in today's times for businesses. We have highlighted certain business segments which are rising businesses in today's time. So there's another article to it, and we keep on doing all those things. So anybody wants to be in touch and understand more can be connected on the LinkedIn. Yeah. Any further questions, Rishabh? Unmute.
Sorry.
Huh.
There's one more question by Mr. Shokeen. Will banks be liberal in funding, or they will be more cautious to SMEs as businesses are very much affected and coming to normalcy will take time?
See, the entire intention of Government of India by um, by giving all those SOPs and measures is to give comfort to SMEs. I'll give you a few examples. If they are taking off the PF liabilities from you, if they are helping you to defer the timelines from March to June, if they're helping you to cope up with the business by deferring the IBC regulations, nobody can put a case on you that you are not able to pay this much money, so you are dragged to the insolvency court for getting off your company. So many things government are taking already, and banks are Government of India undertaking. So I don't think the intention of the government could be two ways on same lines. So they would help us and tell the banks to augment.
All right. I think there are no more questions. If anyone has any other question, please write it or please speak out. All right, Gagan. I would like to thank you so much on behalf of entire Jito Faridabad, the youth wing, ladies wing, and the main Jito Faridabad wing for a very knowledgeable session with a lot of practical points. And I'm sure even if we implement 50% of what all you said, we'll be in a much better position to tackle the current situation and come back much, much stronger.
Absolutely. Everybody should do it. That is my point only. It will help you a lot. And thank you all for being a patient listener, number one. And number two, please try to inculcate all these things within your business, whatever you do, how difficult it is, but try to. This is the your dashboard which has these 6 pointers written in front of you, and try to mix these six and try to take best course of action while talking. Friends, please communicate. Please talk to your clients. Please talk to suppliers. There is no other remedy in this world that's going to solve and evolve from these difficult times and situations. So I can only say best of luck, and happy to hear from you guys anytime. Leave anything with Rishabh for us to get back to you anytime. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karan.
I've written his email ID in the chat box. If anyone wants to contact him directly, you can drop in an email.
Sure. Definitely. Thanks, Ethan.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.